Welcome back to the I-24 News Evening Edition. This is the Daily Debate. During the second intifada, after numerous violent terror attacks that included several suicide bombings, the Israeli government decided in 2002 to begin to build a separation barrier between Israel and the West Bank. When it was completed, it will be a 400-mile-long network of high walls, electronic fences, gates, and trenches. But the laying out of the barrier became a subject of controversy when several lawsuits were filed claiming that it will harshly affect the lives and livelihood of many Palestinian families. And joining me tonight in the studio is Calev Myers, founder of the Jerusalem Institute of Justice. Good evening.
Good evening.
Hello. And Bashar, Iraqi, advisor to Israeli parliament member عيساوي فريج. Thank you very much for coming. So let's try to understand, why do Israel need yet and now the separation wall? So
I think even calling it...
I know that you want to answer, Calev.
You turn to me.
Yeah.
I think that even calling it a wall of separation is actually inaccurate. If it was actually a wall that was created to create an ethnic separation, it's not doing a very successful job, because there's 350,000 Jews that live on the predominantly Palestinian side of the wall, and 1.5 million Arabs who live on the predominantly Jewish side of the wall. And in fact, it's not actually a wall. Only 3% of it is concrete. 97% of it is a chain-linked fence.
So what is it? Because once we call it, I called it once a barrier, I called it once a wall. So I will try to understand exactly.
I believe it's a security fence. So before it started to be constructed in 2002, there were over 400 Israelis who lost their lives because of Palestinian terrorism. These are terrorists that infiltrated Israel proper to carry out, to murder Israeli civilians. That's more than one per day. If you go back to that time, it was a very traumatic time. I myself was driving on a bus one day, and the bus in front of me exploded. And I thought to myself, wow, I could have been a person on that bus. So at that time, what do we do about this? We have this terrible security situation. So they started building the wall. If you jump forward to 2009, when most of the security fence was finished being constructed, those numbers went down by 99.8%. So in that year, 8 Israelis lost their lives because of Palestinian terrorism. So I think the wall is terrible. I think it's a monstrosity. I think it's ugly. I think it creates terrible inconveniences, certainly for Palestinians. But I think it's a lesser evil than death by terrorism. And so it's something that we need to live with until the security situation drastically improves.
You're moving in a little bit uncomfortable in your chair, so
yes,
please answer.
I expected more smart argument coming from you, Myers. I Googled your name before we came over here, and I was thinking, the one absolutely hard thing to explain in Israel is the wall, which I don't even call fence or security. It's an apartheid wall. It's back in 2004, I remember a rally that we walked all through the wall from starting in Jenin in the north, ending in Ramallah, next to Ramallah. And I've seen what the wall has been doing to families, and I've seen confiscation of lands, and I've seen the shattered families that are truly suffering from whatever name you want to use to call this ugly reality in the West Bank. That's one. Two, it doesn't prevent Palestinians from entering Israel. We have thousands of illegal Palestinian workers, defined by the Israeli law as illegals, entering daily, coming to work in Tel Aviv, Rehovot. Maybe they even reach Eilat, and they go back to their homes, and they're not even stopped by the Israeli soldiers who patrol the line over there. That's two. Three, I need the security that you need. I need the security that whoever tried to design the wall was trying to sell it to us as a security fence. I need it, my family needs it, Lucy needs it, and you need it. But not on the expense of Palestinians. You want to build a wall, build it in your own land. Don't take it on someone else's land. That's fine, that's great. I'll even help you putting the cement over there. So the argument is not about security. Security is the token that Israel, and I'm sorry to say that, but even the Jewish majority in Israel always pulls when it comes to an argument with the Palestinians. We need our security. It's our security we're trying to protect. No, not here. Because the PA has been a great partner with coordinating security roles between Israel, the IDF, and the PA security forces. And that is the only reason why suicide bombers, the ugly suicide bombers that killed Palestinians living in Israel and killed Jewish Israelis, are not entering the Israeli borders anymore.
Caleb?
Yeah, I beg to differ with many statements that Mr. Iraqi made. I think I'm sort of surprised that you would use a term as apartheid. By saying apartheid, I don't think you really understand what that term refers to, and at least in the South African context. I come back to the point that I believe that it is a security measure, and this is something that Western democracies are dealing with throughout the world. We take away freedoms in order to protect the security of the people we love. And so it could be the lines created in airports after 9/11.
You can't make something ugly beautiful by putting some makeup on it, because it will rain one day.
I agree.
And this
I agree that it's
fake
ugly.
beauty will go away. The 350,000 Israelis you named living in the Palestinian territories are settlers. These are the ones who are causing you trouble every day. These are the ones that are causing Palestinians to attack back. These are the reason why the Israeli government is failing in explaining why Israel is failing again and again and again in reaching a peace agreement with the Palestinians and even the neighbors. So
the reason that Israel is failing again and again and again to reach a Palestinian agreement with its neighbors,
well, at least you agree that they failed,
is because the Palestinian leadership has been unwilling since 1948 until today to recognize any Jewish sovereignty anywhere in Israel. As far as I'm concerned, the settlers, as you call them, living in these territories are living in Israel proper.
I believe you had a minimum education, and we spoke outside right before we came inside over here. The PA has recognized the borders of 67. So it's not the Palestinians are not recognizing Israel. It's the Israelis are not recognizing the Palestinian right to have a country. And let's go back to the wall. How would you feel if one day I'll come to you and say, you know, the small village you named outside, I forgot the name. What's the name of your village?
Where I live?
Yes.
I live in Har Hadar.
Har Hadar.
Yeah.
For some reason, because I'm more powerful and I have more money, I decided to come and build a wall next to your house. And I tell you, you have nothing.
If my neighbors are sending suicide bombers into your communities to kill you and your children, I think I would understand.
Let's be more rational.
Does the fact that the United States have a fence on the Texas-Mexico border make it a racist state?
Let's tell the audience the truth.
All Western democracies take security precautions, ugly security precautions that limit people's freedom.
How would you explain the illegal Palestinian workers coming into Israel daily?
Explain to me why terrorism dropped by 99% after they built the wall.
Because of the great peace partner you have in the PA.
The great peace partner. When you refer to the PA, are you referring also to Ismail Haniyeh's PA government, who won the elections? The Hamas, who are continuing to send suicide bombers into, but they're still trying to infiltrate Israel.
We are talking about
that's a different subject. We're talking about the West Bank and the wall. We're not talking about Gaza and the siege on Gaza.
Hamas is also active in the West Bank.
I want to take 2 points from what you said. I will let you continue. I will let you continue fighting, but I want to take 2 points from what you said. One point is that we are talking about the West Bank, and we're not talking about the Gaza Strip, and the Gaza Strip is a totally, completely different situation. And from the other side, there is a fact that since the fence was built, the number of terror attacks in Israel went down. And the other point that I'm going to give to you, Caleb, really, does a person that gets up in the morning and decides to blow himself up inside of a Jewish state, a Jewish city, inside of a bus, really a fence?
Jewish state, Lucy, come
on. I'm talking about is a person that is getting up in the morning, really a fence is going to stop him? If he's putting in his mind to blow himself up, really a fence, this is the thing that is going to stop him? And this fence that it actually is, let's put it on the table, is going through literally the houses of people living in the West Bank.
I've seen homes where the bathroom is in Israel and the kitchen
is in the West Bank.
I've never seen a home like that. I'm sorry, but
I can tell you that I saw a lot of it.
Does the fact that London have cameras on every street corner invading people's privacy prevent terrorism? Does the fact that the NSA listening into people's telephone calls and reading their Facebook pages prevent terrorism?
Where you draw the red line?
Do the lines that are created at the airport because of profiling and stopping certain people prevent terrorism? I don't know. I'm not a security expert, but what I do know is from before the wall was built until after it was built, death by terrorism decreased dramatically, among others because of the security fence. I want the security fence to be removed, but if you want it to be removed, the way to have it removed is not by calling it the apartheid wall and trying to delegitimize the state of Israel. The way to have it removed is to stop brainwashing your children, to infiltrate Israel, to become jihad,
Myers,
suicide
come on.
bombers.
That is not, no, seriously. I want you to
You are
argue
denying
me. I want you to
reality.
argue me. I don't want you to
Yes.
give excuses to something that is not even close to be a
You
reality.
are denying reality if you deny the fact that in Palestinian
reality?
education,
Yes.
Jihad.
Recently, I see you have documents. Recently,
Yes.
Israel refused to sign on a common committee that will investigate any teachings against Israel or Palestinians on both sides. Israel, Mr. Bibi Netanyahu, who was the one who said no to it. Though he's been claiming that the Palestinians teach bad things about the Israelis and Jews. And I will tell you something. Hate, you don't need to teach
Palestinians,
hate. You don't need to
they
teach
may
hate.
not teach bad things.
The kid that can't see his father or mother anymore, or the mother that can't visit her daughter anymore because of the wall, she will hate Israel. The man that lost his land because of the wall, he will hate Israel. The poor families that lived on the farming will hate Israel as well.
People who were hurt by Palestinians,
of course, that doesn't
being attacked or being blowing themselves
there
up
is nothing
in
in
a bus,
life.
they can
Lucy,
be hated by Jews.
I'm not trying to say, I'm very clear about what I say. I'm very clear. Suicide bombings, killing civilians, that's something that I go against every time I have the opportunity.
I'm glad we can agree to that
You shouldn't be
point.
glad, I'm a human. You should not be surprised that I'm saying this. You should be surprised that the majority in Israel can't see the truth anymore. The only reason that you guys don't have peace, and I say you guys as Jews, not me as an Arab, I'm not targeted. I'm only targeted because I live in this country. You're targeted because you are affiliated with the majority that runs this country and is causing pain, causing death. There is occupation, there is racial profiling, and there's an apartheid in the West Bank. This is not something that I'm coming up with from Google. This is something that happens in reality.
I think that, first of all, the fact that Israel is sitting in occupying the West Bank goes back to a decision that was made at the San Remo Conference in 1921 that designated this complete area for a Jewish homeland. That was then reiterated in the British Mandate the next year, and the rest is history. We know that in 1948, a partition plan was put on the table, which would partition the land partly for Arab Palestinians, partly for the Jewish homeland. The Arab League, since 1948 until today, has completely rejected every idea of Jewish sovereignty.
Oh my Allah.
This is the reason. This is the reason.
What are you talking about? There's the Arab League initiative.
These are the facts.
No, there's not a fact.
On the ground.
No, man, come on. You look high-tech. You look someone who knows how to study things.
If you want to know what my opinion is, I think I think this wall should eventually be taken down when the security situation, when the security community comes to the conclusion that it's no longer needed. And I think full Israeli citizenship needs to be given to every single Arab living right today on the other side of the wall, and we should live together as one people in one state. Yeah.
Lucy, you need to end this because I can't agree anymore. This is exactly what I dream of, one state solution. But why you would be a minority saying this in Israel?
Do you really think that one-state solution, but we have a 1 minute, but then you dropped a bomb on the table, but one-state solution, is this the solution, do you think? Wouldn't it ruin the Jewish state, Jewish and democratic majority in Israel?
In my opinion, we need to recognize Gaza as a Palestinian state because there's not one Jew living there. It has Hamas government, and there's no way we can make peace with them. And then we need to create one state in Judea and Samaria and Israel and grant full citizenship, equal rights, and civil rights.
For a second, you impressed me with the statement that you just made. Come on.
Is there actually a way to make peace with Hamas? Can Israel make peace with
do you know your ancestors made peace with more
I'm going
harsh
to get
people.
you back here to answer, can Israel make peace with Hamas? You too. Thank you very much.
I don't think that Israel can make peace with itself anymore.
Thank you very much, gentlemen, for coming to the studio. Thank you, our viewers. We're going out for a small break, 10 minutes break, update, and then we'll be back for the I-24 News one-on-one.
Let's do the Wednesday.